and welcome back in my reading corner. Thank you so much for joining me again. And this time for another TBR. This is the June TBR and it will include a readathon TBR. And let's be honest, this one's going to be overly ambitious because my reading month of May sucked. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Cici and I do mostly subscription box unboxings, mostly bookish ones. I rate them, I have a rating system. So if you want to find like the right box for you, this might be the channel for you. Besides that, I am part of the booktube community and as such I do my wrap-ups and my TBRs, and that's what we're here for today. Let's get right into it to get this done quickly. So, I always write up my TBR on a neat little page like so, and the first ones are book clubs and read-alongs that I'm taking part in. The first read-along that I do is the Booksplosion book of the month, and it is in June. It is Now I Rise. I don't know much about it because you're supposed to read the first one before you read this. This is a sequel, and that is And I Darken, which I was supposed to read in May. Didn't happen, so it has to happen in June. So I gotta read both. I do think that they sound really interesting. It is a fantasy and it sounds like badass fantasy. And that's pretty much all I can tell you right now. If you don't already know, I do go into a lot of books blind, so not much besides telling you what I'm reading. The next one is a format that I call Booktubers Recommend. So I have, at the beginning of the year, asked some of my favorite booktubers if they could recommend me a book to read, and every month I pick one to actually read. And this month I am reading the recommendation by Sarah without an H, and she recommended me Strange the Dreamer by I have something like with my speech today, Laini Taylor. So Sarah told me, I think you should read Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I looked at the books you've rated 5 stars and noticed you seem to enjoy Six of Crows. Similar to Six of Crows, Strange the Dreamer has beautiful writing and a well-developed world. So I have already received quite a lot of people telling me I need to read this, and most of them tell me that you do need to get into this book completely blind and that you should just let the main character, the protagonist, his name I think is called Laszlo Strange, just take you through the world and just go into it blind. The people who have read this and recommended it to me did sound like it kind of destroyed them emotionally, so I am totally looking forward to that. Strange the Dreamer also is the book of the month of my book club with some Slytherins and Ravenclaws over at the Hogwarts Running Club. So 2 for 1. The next read-along I do is Drag Society, which is Emma Books' year-long Shadowhunter read-along. So far, to be honest, I am not too impressed with the Shadowhunter Chronicles. I did enjoy City of Glass a lot, and I did enjoy the start of the Infernal Devices, but so far it's not blowing me away. But I made a promise to myself that I'm gonna keep reading it because everybody's raving about the last books, and I do totally understand that writing gets better over time, and I just want to know what everybody's talking about. Usually I do like things that are hyped. I usually do like things that everybody else likes. So chances are that I'm gonna like it, and I just didn't like the first ones because, well, I wasn't a teen when they came out and I didn't live through that. So for the Drax Society, City of Lost Souls is up in June, but seeing as my reading month sucked, I do have to read these two as well because I didn't finish them in May. Damn me. So I have a total of 3 Shadowhunter Chronicle books to read. Actually, the City of Fallen Angels, I only have to read like half. I did complete half, but it's still 3. It covers the whole screen. It's a lot. But that's fine. I'm fine. Because I yet have another read-along that I committed myself to, and that is the Throne of Glass series. I read that with the awesome Becca and some other amazing booktubers and just readers that like to read. And this is an awesome group. I enjoy it so much. I enjoy reading the books and discussing them, and I enjoy the series a lot more than the Mortal Instruments. We read a book a month until the new one comes out in September, and this month it is Queen of Shadows. I don't have the physical copy here yet. It should be arriving the next 2 days, but I still have to finish Heir of Fire as well. My reading month in May was awesome. So 2 books in that one too. That completes my book clubs and read-alongs. I have 4 arcs from NetGalley that I want to complete this month, and they are all but one. Like contemporaries, like palette cleansers. I love to throw in a contemporary chick lit palette cleanser in between my fantasy books to just reset my mind to like the new world. And I have the Showrunner, Hot Mess, How Hard Can It Be, and the 4th book of NetGalley is the Olympian Challenger. I don't know much about these books except that 3 of them are just like chick lit and supposed to be just some fun reads like for in between. So last but not least, I am taking part in 2 readathons this month. One is the Read-o-Rama and one is the seasonal series. For the seasonal series, I have completed almost all challenges. The only challenges that I still have to do is read a book under 300 pages, read a middle grade series book, and finish a duology. For the duology, I will read Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda and Leia of the beaten, of the beaten path or something? What's going on? I just put Leia on here, so that's like, why? I have them too on audiobook, and I know I can finish through them like pretty quickly while I'm out on my walk. And I'm actually kind of like, I put them off until now because it didn't interest me as much, but as everybody keeps talking about it, I want to read them. And that finishes the duology, and I am going to read the Wayward Children #2. I think it's Down Among the Sticks and Bones. Another very, very quick read, and that should do for the under 300 pages. This also goes into the Read-o-Rama. So the Read-o-Rama has 7 challenges. The first challenge, read an underrated book. I'm going to read one of the NetGalley picks, the showrunner for that, because it only has 30 reviews as of now, so that's underrated. One is to pick a book with mental health. I didn't have a good book with mental health on my June TBR, and I didn't want to add another book, so I'm going to pick Hot Mess for that, because I know that this is dealing with a lot of like, I think this woman is in her, might be 50s, and it is dealing with like different, like a nervous breakdown and these kind of things. It's not as mental healthy as I would like. It's not like a progressed illness something, but it is with like mental struggle, so I'm completely fine with that. The third challenge is to read something with a flower on the cover, and I'm gonna read And I Darken for that. I know it doesn't have a flower on here, but the hardcover has, and that counts. Don't make me read another book. Then we have one challenge is to read a book from where the author is from my area. I didn't find a book that I want to read from like a German author that I wanted to add. So I picked the Olympian Challenger. The author is born in Paris. That's Europe. That counts. Yeah, I'm stretching a little. The host pick was, one of the host picks is the fifth challenge, which would be the Wayward Children #1. As I've just read that, I am just going to read the second one and I'm going to make that count as well. The sixth challenge is the old lovely challenge to pick a book with R-A-M-A in the title, and for that I'm going to pick Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, so that is covered too. And the seventh book that I'm going to be reading is Read 7 Books. That's the challenge, and for that I'm going to read Olivia Twist. It is a retelling of Oliver Twist, if you couldn't tell by the name. And I am going to read this one because this came in the my YA book club, like Once Upon YA book club subscription box, and I am usually vlogging when I'm reading these books because opening up the subscription box happens along the way, because we have these awesome like open gift stickers in here, and as soon as I'm gonna hit page 47 I can open the first gift from the subscription box. I think it's an awesome concept, and so I just need to read these books like pretty much right away. Not so much of an Oliver Twist fan, really, but hey, I have had retellings that were a lot of fun, and so far I did quite enjoy all of the picks that came in that subscription box. I didn't enjoy the last one much. I'm hoping this one's better. Well, I like the cover. It's nice, isn't it? It's very Oliver Twisty. All right, so this is it, and I think this should be enough. Because that comes down to a total of 16 books. I will just remind you that I read a total of 5 books in May, and I want to read 16 books in June. Like that's gonna happen. It is a total of 6,450 pages, which comes down to 215 pages a day. Why don't I just like stop pretending right now? No, to be honest, I do like these very ambitious TBRs. I know some people, for some people this creates like this weird pressure and they don't enjoy reading as much. I am a Slytherin through and through. I need these challenges. I need to try and win something, and if the challenges are too easy, I'm not gonna try. This is why I love readathons as well. They make me push harder and push further and try and read all the books. I'm still staying realistic, and my job comes first, my family comes first. But well, reading comes third, and I think that's that's pretty good. So during the last couple of months, I usually was able to read around like 10 books, which is awesome. I love being able to read 10 books in a month. This way I can actually get to all the books that I just want to dive in. And yeah, so I'm creating these challenges for me to strive to read more, and it works. So if in the end I'm not like I have not completed 16 books, it's not the end of the world. Like, it's totally fine. But I know if I wouldn't have done that, like this ambitious TBR, I would have probably read like 2 or 3 books less. So that's how I roll, I guess. Anyways, oh yes, do you guys have a recommendation for me for a middle grade book that is quick, short, and fun to read, so I can actually finish all the challenges in the seasonal series readathon? Because that's the only book that's gonna be missing, and I don't want to add like a big 17th book that I'm not going to get to. So just something very quick, very short, but please very fun. because it does need to be worth my time. So please let me know if you have any recommendations for a middle grade book so I can take off that challenge, and then I will just get back to reading because I got a lot of reading to do. So why don't you just subscribe to my channel while you're here? Check out my giveaway, and now I need to get to the reading. So bye.